So in the previous session, we have discussed about some DAX function which belong to math and stat and logical function and text function. And so we have discussed lots of things in the previous session. Today we will discuss about filter function and then table function. And before these two categories of DAX function, we will see the example of substitute function and the example of search function. And what is the difference with the find function? So let me first open the Power BI. So I have opened this Power BI. Now I have loaded some data. If I go there in the table view, you can see this is our data. We have some product and we have some reasons and there is sales column and then quantity column. Suppose I want to find something, like I want to search something in the reason column. I want to search where you have ist value, like ist reason. So I have to click on this new column, give the name like find ist, and here I am writing search function, search function. So inside the search function, first you need to give the text which you want to find. So I want to find ist, and then you have to give the column name where you want to find that particular text. So I want to find in the reason column. Now there is two more things. You can give the start position and you can give the the value when the particular value is not available in that column, then what you want to return. So these two are optional, but I am going to give the starting position 1, and then if it is not found, I want to return 0. Let me press enter. So here you can see here you have ist, the starting index is 1. So we can say these two particular values having ist value, but other you don't have the ist value. Now let me use the same thing, but this time, like I have given here ist in a small letter. If I give ist in a small letter in the search function, still you will get this 111. It means the search function is case insensitive. But what will happen if I use here find function? So let me copy this and let me click on new column. And this time I will use find function. So this time I will use find function. Fine. Now here I am giving the ist and the same column, and then 1 is the starting position and 0 if the value is not found. So what is the difference? Like this find function is case sensitive. It means you have to give in a proper case. If I want to find ist, you have to give in a proper like case, then only it will return. Otherwise, it will say the values is not available there. So search and find both are used for finding something in a particular column, but find is case sensitive and search is case insensitive. So this is the basic difference between find and search. Now, what if I want to replace something, like I want to replace this ist with some other value? So let me create a new column and I am giving the name like replaced column. Here I have to use the substitute command. In substitute command, first you need to give the you have to give the column, which column we want to replace. So I want to replace this reason column, this reason column, and then you need to give the old text. What is the old text? So my old text is ist and my new text is ist space new. And let me close the bracket and enter. So now you can see here it changes ist with ist new. So this is what we use substitute function. So these are the basic things which we have discussed earlier. Now I'm going to our current topic, like we will discuss about the calculate function. So calculate function is a function which changes the filter context of a calculation and it evaluate an expression in the modified context. Okay, if we talk about the basic syntax, calculate function, first we have to give the expression. what expression we want to calculate. And this is mandatory step. After comma, you have to give the filter. Filter might be more than one. If you don't put any filter, still your calculate function will work. So this is how you can write your calculate function. And we will see the example how to use the calculate function. So basically we use it when we want to apply some additional filters while calculating a measure. So let me take an example. For an example, we have this table. We have product, we have reason, we have sales column, and we have quantity column. Now, if I want to calculate the sale value for only product A, then we can use the calculate function. So let me go there in the report view, and I'm creating a new measure. In this measure, I want to calculate the sale amount of product A only. So what I have to do here, first I am giving the name like sale of product A. Now here, first I have to give the calculate function. Inside the calculate function, I have to give my expression. My expression is sum of sale value. Basically, I'm taking the value, some value. Now I have to apply the filter. We have to apply filter for like product column. So we have to give here product data and a product column. And after equal to, you have to mention the product. So our product is A. And let me press enter. Now what will happen here if I select a card and then I have to drag this measure, you can see the sale amount is 350. If I go there in a table view, if I filter only A, then you can see the sum amount is 250 and 100, which means 350. So this is how you can basically filter your calculation based on the filter which you used in this measure. Now suppose I want to apply one more filter. I want to apply filter on reason column, like reason. So after comma, you have to select the reason column, and after equal to, you have to give the reason. So I want the west reason, and let me press enter. So now you can see this is showing 250. Why it is showing 250? If I filter here my reason, so you will get the for west we have only 250 sales. Now, if I want to multiply this quantity and sales, and I want the reason east, and I want the product B only, not A. So what you have to do here, you have to modify this reason. Now this time I'm giving product B, and I want to give the reason. I want the reason east only. Okay. And I want to multiply quantity and the sale amount. So I'm using here SUMX function. So in case of SUMX, you have to give the table name data, and then you have to give the sales column and then multiply this with quantity column. Now let me press enter. See here, it is showing 800. Now let me check in the table view. If I select this B product, and if I select only east reason, and if I multiply this 200 with 4, it means 800. So this is how your calculate function is working. Now moving to our next DAX function, which is filter DAX function. So basically filter DAX function we use to return a table that represent a subset of another table and filtered by a given condition. It has this syntax filter. You have to give the table name and you have to give the expression. So basically we use this filter function inside the calculate function for row wise filtering. So first we will see the filter function without using calculate function. So if I go there in the table view and let me remove, I'm clicking right click and then clear all filter. I have removed all the filter from this particular, we can say particular table. Now I want to create another table and I want only product A. I want only product A in the new table, and rest other column would be same. So how we can do this? You have to go there in a table too and click on new table. So this time I am creating calculated table. Calculated table, it means you are using DAX function and creating another table. So I'm giving here data of product A. This is the name of my table. And now I'm giving here filter function. I'm giving the table name existing table data. And then I'm giving here I want filter from product. So I'm selecting the product column and giving equal to A in a double quote. So you can see you get the rows having product A only. So this is how your filter function is working. But sometime if you want, you can use this filter function into the DAX calculation. So let me show you an example. I'm clicking on a new measure. And here I'm giving the example of filter function. Here first you have to give calculate function, and then let me give here sum of sale value, and then I have to give here filter function. In the filter function, I am selecting the data table, and inside the data table, I am choosing product column. Product is equal to A. So this will give the same result what we did previously. But this time we are using filter function instead of the filter which is available in this calculate function. So let me drag into a card to see the result here. So if I drag this, so it is showing 350, which is similar to the filter which we have the calculate function which we have created previously. So if I filter here A, you can see 250 and 100 which give 350. So either you can use this filter function, or you can directly use the your inbuilt filter which is available in this calculate function. So the difference is there only. The filter function return a table, but this you cannot directly use this while creating a calculated table. Now moving to our next DAX function, which is all family. So basically all family means we have some DAX which is available in this all family. We have all function, we have all accept, we have all selected. These three are available in this all family. So if I talk about all DAX function, it means it removes all the filter from a specified columns or table, but ignoring the slicer, filter, or visual level filters. And it is used when you want to return unfiltered total. You want if any of the filter is available in a particular column, it removed everything. So the basic syntax is you have to use all, and then you have to give the table name, or you need to give the column name. Similarly, you have all except function. So first let me take an example of all, then we will go to the all except. So what I have to do here, I have already written the DAX here all function. I have used calculate function. I have used the sum of sales value, and here I'm using the reason column, and I have used all function, and I have dragged this all function in this card, and here I have used some slicers like reason slicer and product slicer. So what will happen? Let me show you what will happen. So if I apply the filter from reason, nothing is changes into this all function. You can see here it is nothing is changes in this all function. Why this is not changing? Because you have used all for this particular reason column. It means it ignore all of the filters when you apply on this reason column. So that's why this reason filter is not working. But if you apply filter on product column, this value is changing. Okay, so this is only for this reason column because you have applied this filter on this all function on this reason column. if I change here, like if I give a comma and if I give here all, and if I give here product column, like product column, then both filter, like both will, the filter from with both column is not working. So if I select this product data, still this values is not changing. You can see here, the values are not changing here. And if I choose this reason, still this function is not changing because all function is used to remove the filter from that particular table or from that particular column. Now moving to our next all except. All except is used like it remove all the filters from the tables except the one which you have specified. So basically all except is the reverse of this all function. So let me show the DAX function here. Here I have used calculate function, and inside that I have used sum of the sales value, and inside I have used all except, and I have chosen the reason column. So let us see what is happening here. So I have used reason. If I use a filter from here, you can see these values are changing. Why these values are changing? Because you have used all except and you have used this reason column. It means all the filter from the reason is applied but other than reason, nothing filter is not working. Rest filters are not working. So if I choose any product, you can see this is not changing because all except is the reverse of all function. It means only the specified columns filter are working. Rest other columns filter are not working. Now moving to our next function, all selected. All selected removes filters only applied by visuals, but it keeps the slicer and filter pane selections. So often used like if you want to calculate the percentage calculation to respect the slicer but ignore the visual level filter, then we can use this all selected filter. All selected means only the filter from the slicers are working and this filter panes are working. Rest other are not working. So I have already written a all selected function here. Here I have used calculate function and then I have used sales value, like sum of the sales value, and all selected data reason. So what will happen here? Here, let me first remove the filter. So I have created this matrix here and I have uh, clicked on drag a product, region, sum of sales and all selected. So what is happening? If you apply the filter from this region, you can see the values are changing. Okay, these values are changing. But if you apply the filter from this product, you cannot see this all selected values are changing. These are showing like the same values are showing here. So what is the thing here? If you can all selected is applicable for like when you want to remove all the filter but want to obey the filter by using slicer or by using filter pane, then you can use all selected function. So these are the three differences of all function, like all except and all selected. This is in the category of all family. Now moving to our next topic, remove and filter, keep filter. So remove filter we use to remove all the filter from a specified columns or table, which is similar to all. So for that you have to use remove filter and you have to give the table name or column name. So I think I have created something. Yeah, remove filter function. So remove filter function, you have to use your expression. Like I have used calculated function here, and I have used the sales value, and then I have used remove filter for this reason column. So let me create a cart and let me drag this remove filter function. See here, what is happening here? You have removed all the filter from the this particular sales and from the reason column. If I used a slicer here and inside the slicer, let me drag a reason. Here, if I'm applying this filter Still these values are not changing because it removed all the filter from this particular reason column. So remove filter is similar to all function only. Now there is one more function which we call key filter. Key filter we use to apply the additional filters without removing the existing filter. So it modify the filter context cumulatively. And this like I have written this syntax here. You have to use calculate function and then you have to use the expression. And then here you have to use the key filters and then filter expression. So you can use this when you want to add any filters without overriding on the existing filter. So let me show a DAX here. So here you can see I have used a calculate function. I have used my expression here like data and then sales value. And then I have used key filter where I have used the sales value should be greater than 150 and the reason should be east only. So if I drag here in this particular card, I have already dragged here. So if I show you the data, like first what I have to do here, if I see here, first you need to select the reason to the east region. East region. And inside the east region, I have to return the value when the sales value is greater than 150. So it means only 200. So this is showing this 200 here. So key filter we are using for like keeping the existing filter without overriding. You can add one more filter in your like calculate function. So that's why we are using filter key filter function. Now moving to our next DAX function. So our next DAX function is selected value. Selected value we use for returning a single value of a column. If only one value is selected, otherwise it return blank or a specified alternate result. So the basic syntax is selected value and then you have to give the column name. And if you want any alternate result, you can give it. So we can use this selected value to return the value from the slicers. Let me show you an example. Let me create a slicer. I'm creating a slicer here. And here I'm using this reason column inside this slicer. Now I have to write, like I have already written this function. I have used this function like selected function and then selected function I have used here. This is my measure name and this is my function name. Inside that I have used my this basically this column, reason column. And then the alternate value is nothing. So what will happen? Let me create a card and let me drag this selected function inside this card. See here, if I have not selected anything, it is showing nothing because I have given this alternate result is nothing. If I select east, so it will give the east here. If I select north, it will give the north here. If I select west, it will give the west here. So you can use this selected value function for returning the value which is selected from the slicer. Now here we have one more like one more function, selected column. So selected columns is a table function that return a table with selected columns from another table or expression, possibly with new names. So basically, for an example, sometime you want to take the columns from one table to create another table, another calculated table, then you can use this selected column. So the basic syntax is here. You have to give the table name and then you can give the name of the column and you can give the expression. And after that, you can give more name. You can give more expression, which are optional. Now let me show here an example. For an example, I have this data table. I have this data table. I want to select this reason and sales from this table and create a new, we can say a new table. So I have to go there in a table tool and I have to click on this new table for creating the calculated table. And here I'm giving new data. And then I'm using selected columns. So selected column, and then I have to give my table name, which is data. And then I have to give my column name. Let me give like new reason column name. After that, in comma, after comma, I have to give my expression. So let me select the reason here. And then I have to select my sales new. Here I have to give the sales value. Let me give the enter. So you can see here the two columns, reason and the sales is coming from this data table. But here you have different name of this column, and you have selected this column by using this select columns function. So this is the basic use of select column function, and you can create your own, you can create your own table by selecting the particular columns from the existing table. Now moving to our next DAX function, which is our summarized DAX function. So basically, summarized DAX function we used to create a summary table. Here you can group one or more columns, and you can give the aggregated expression also. So this is very important function whenever you want to apply group by in any of the any of the data, any of the table if you want to apply the group by. And this is also very important interview question. Interviewer asking you what is the use of summarize function, and sometimes they ask you show me the syntax or show me the example of this summarize function. So the basic syntax is here: summarize, you have to give the table name, and then you have to give the group by column, like which column you want to group by, and you can give multiple columns for group by. After that, you have to give the name and then expression, which column you want to aggregate. So in our case, let me take an example. So for an example, this is my table, and here you can see you have product A is 2 times, product B is 2 times, and product C is 2 times. If I want to create a new table where I want only two things, one is our product column and another is our sales column. But in that new table, I want this product should be only 1 time. Like A should be only 1 time, B should be only 1 time, and C should be only 1 time. So here you have to group by this product column, and then you have to sum this sales value. So how we can I do this? You have to click on this new table, and then I'm giving the name like summary table. Here I am using summarize function, and then I have to use here like my data table, and then I have to use here my the column which I want to group. So I want to group this product, like this product column I want to group, and I want only one column should be grouped by. So I have selected only product column. Now you have to give the name and the expression which you want to aggregate. So sale amount. This is the new name of my aggregated column. And here I'm using sum function, and I'm giving sales value, like sales column. See what it did? It grouped everything like A, B, C, and then it is giving the sum amount of this A. So if you see here in the data table, you can see A has two values. One is 250 and one is 100. But in the summary table, you can get only one value, which is the sum of sum of this two values. If I use here like max function, then it will give the maximum value. Okay, maximum value. If I use here average function, then it will give the average of that particular two values. So this is how you can create your summary table by using this summarized DAX function. Now moving to our next DAX function, which is add columns. So add columns we use to return a table with a new calculated column added to it without changing the original table. So the basic syntax is add columns, then you have to give the table name, and then you have to give the new column name, and then you have to give the expression. So let me show by an example. I'm creating a new calculated table here, like add column example. Here I used here add columns, and then I give the table name data, and then I give here like reason new, and then I selected this reason column. After comma, I give here sales new, sales new, and then I selected this sales column. Okay. Now you can see here what I did here. I have selected all the columns of the existing table, and I have created these two new columns, one with the reason new and one with the sales new. So basically add column is used to add some columns into the existing table. So that's why we can use this add column function here. I want the first letter of this reason. So let me give the name like first letter of reason. This is my column name. And then I am giving here left reason, and I'm giving number of character 1. Here you can see the first letter of this reason is coming here. So basically this data, like you have include all the columns from this data table, and you have added these 3 new columns into this table. So that's why we are using this add columns function in the calculated table. Now moving to our next DAX function, which is generate series. So generate series is used for creating a single column table of sequential values, either whole number or decimal. So the basic syntax is here generate series, then you have to give the starting value, and then you have to give the end value, and then you have to give the incremental. And this incremental is optional. If you are not giving the incremental value, then it is taking 1. Now let me show you an example. I'm creating a new table here, and then I'm giving here example of generate series. And then here I'm giving like generate series. And I want the values from 1 to 100, and the incremental values would be 1. So you can see this is this series will created here. It means a column is created in a new table, and this value starting value is 1 and the end value is 100, and the incremental value is like 1 only. If I want 5, you have to give the 5 in the incremental value. Now you can see 1, 6, 11, 16. This is the new series. Now moving to our next DAX function, which is distinct. So basically distinct we use to return the unique list of values from a column or a table. And the basic syntax is distinct, and then you have to give the column name or table name. So let me take an example here. For an example, I have this data table, and I want to return the distinct values from this product, like how many distinct products are available. So how we can do, I have to create a new table, and then I have to give the name of the table like distinct product. Here I have to give the distinct function, and then you have to select the column, like your column name is product, which is available in data table. So I have selected the table data, and the column is product. Let me press enter. Now you can see it is showing the distinct product. So distinct is very useful when you want to find the unique values from any column. Then you can use this distinct function. Now moving to our next DAX function, we have value and then values. Value function we use to convert any text or date into the numerical values. For an example, you have this like this value. 123.12, which is a numerical value, but it is casted into text. Then you can convert it into the numerical or decimal value by using this value function. Let me give you an example. I'm creating a new measure. See, let me give the name like value example. Here I am giving like value function, and here if you are giving anything in a single quote or double quote, it means these are text only. But I'm using here value, so it will convert it into a like decimal value. Let me drag it into. See, this is the numerical value. So this is our numerical value. Now, if I talk about values function, so values function return the unique list of values from a column or table and removing the duplicate. So basically, value is similar to distinct function. Like you have for an example, I have used this values and then I have given here product category column of the product table, and it will give the output like electronic, furniture, and toys. This is the unique values. And if you want to count the distinct category count, you have to use the count rows. So it will give the output like 3 only. So I'm not going to show this values example. It is similar to distinct only. So moving to our next DAX function, union and intersect. So union means you can combine two or more tables into one table, and you are keeping all the rows. So only important thing is there, all the columns should be same in both the tables. Then only this union will work. The basic syntax is here, union, and then you have to give the table name like table 1 and table 2. Intersect function is like it return the common rows between the two tables. It act like a SQL intersect, which is it is giving the common rows which is available in both the tables. And the function is intersect, and then you have to give the table name 1 and then table name 2 comma. After comma you have. So let me show you the example. See, this is our table A. Here you can see we have 4 columns and we have a product A, region East, 100 sale and the quantity 1. Similarly, there is B, West, 200 and then 2. And if I talk about this table B, here you can see B, West, 202, and then 2 more rows are there like B, North, 306. Here I have used similar rows like B, West, 202, which is common in table A and table B. But in case of union, it will not differentiate any common rows. It will append all the rows one on the other. So let me show you the example. I'm creating a new table by using union function. Appended equal to union, and then I'm giving a table A, comma, table number, table B. Now let's see what is the result. See here, A, B, and then C, then B, B, B. It means it is appending everything. Total, we have 5 rows, 2 in the table A and 3 in table number B. And it is giving 5 in our appended, appended table where I have used union function. Now I'm copying it and then creating a new table, but this time I will use intersect. And here I'm using intersect. Now you can see only this one record is showing, which is common in both the table. So this is the basic use of intersect and union. Union is for appending everything one on the other, but intersect will return the record which are common in both the table. Now moving to our last DAX function, which is TOPN. TOPN is also very important. It is asked in many of the interviews. So basically TOPN function return the TOPN rows from a table based on an expression. Okay, you have to give your expression, you have to give the number of TOPN values you want, and then you can give the order. So the basic syntax is here, TOPN, and then you have to give the number, how many numbers you want. And then after comma, you have to give the table name. After comma, you have to give the expression, like what expression you want to check. It means like on what basis you want to find the TOPN. Like if there is product you want and there is sales amount, you want the top product based on the sales amount. So this sales amount column should be here, and the order you need to mention here, like either you want descending order or ascending order. So let me show you an example here. So I have this table, this data table. I want to return the product those have the highest the sales amount. Okay, so what I have to do here, I am just creating a new table and I am giving here top one product. I am just taking one product and here I have to give token, and then I'm giving here one because I want only one product. And then I am giving the table name data, and then I am giving the sales column. And let me give here sum. Let me give here sum. After this comma, I am giving like I want the maximum values like DESC from higher to lower I want. So descending order I will use here. Okay, so it is giving me like a product. Let me remove. Okay, now you can see here. If I remove the sum, it is giving me like the product those have highest sale. So 300 is the highest sale. If I go there in the data, you can see 300 is the maximum values. So this top end means it is giving me the product, the rows having the we can say the highest sale. If I put here AESC, it will give me the lowest sale. Here 100 is the lowest sale and there is two record. So it is giving me two rows, two product. We can also use this in our measure. If I want to use in our measure, you have to just uh, create a new measure here. And here I'm giving the name of the measure like top one product. Here I'm using calculate function. Inside the calculate function, I'm using max of the product name, max of the product. After that, I will use in a filter, I will use top n. Similar to like the filter function, I'm using here top n function. So I give one and then data table and then sales column and then DESC for descending. I want the higher to low. So it will give me it will give only product. So let me drag a card and drag this top one product. See here, it is giving me B. Like B is the product having the highest sale. If I go there if I check in the data table view, you can see B has only 3. So this is how you can use this top n in the measure. You cannot directly use this top n without calculate function. You cannot use in a measure because this is returning a number of record. So you can use directly in the calculated table, but you cannot use in the measure.